Hello everyone, today I'll be showing you guys how to make pad thai with very simple ingredients. Let's check it out. Here we have the noodles, 2 garlic cloves, brown sugar, make that half cup, 2 teaspoons of salt, a tablespoon of the tamarind paste, and for the water I recommend 1.5 cup, 2 eggs, a bowl of pork, sprouts, and cilantro. Before we start, I would like to tell you guys a little bit of tips because I know for someone who's not familiar with the cuisine can have difficulty finding the supplies. So let's start with the noodles. I use fresh noodles because it's soft and easier to cook and work with, and it gets cooked very quickly in comparison to the dried noodles. You have to soak it for like an hour, and if you don't soak it, it can be very difficult to work with. And they come in this kind of package, and you can find them in a refrigerated section in any kind of international store, and they're pretty cheap as well. Followed by the sugar, I use brown sugar because it's what I have currently. I don't usually buy palm sugar because I don't cook with palm sugar very often. Or you can even go with a darker brown sugar, and that would make your pad thai darker and delicious looking. For salt, you can use any kind of salt, but I use the Himalayan pink salt because it's what I have currently. For the meat, I prefer using this type of pork because it has fats in it. It's more juicy and smooth in comparison to lean meat, but you are welcome to use chicken breast, ground chicken, or even ground pork if you like, and if you don't feel like slicing them up. You can even use beef if you want to, and some people like it with shrimp, but I don't have shrimp currently, so this is what I have available, and this is what I'm going to be using. For bean sprouts, you can pretty much find it in Harris Teeter, they have it, and an international store, of course, and they're pretty cheap as well. And this is the type of bean sprouts that I use, and I think it's very easy to chew in comparison to the ones that have larger seeds. So yeah, this is what I have currently, and I don't use fish sauce because I'm expecting to take this to work, and I don't want the smell of fish sauce to disturb my coworkers, especially those that are not used to the smell. And so yeah, this is what I have. I forgot to tell you guys one thing. You're going to need oil, and I'm using vegetable oil because when you do any kind of stir fry, you're going to need oil to help prevent food getting stuck on your pans when you're in the middle of cooking. And also, we are making a stir fry, that's why it's called pad thai. Pad equals stir fry. When I was in the store, I found banana leaves, and I thought of making something that requires banana leaves, which I'll probably create another video for that. But because I am making pad thai, I thought maybe it's a great idea to use that as garnishing. Look. And then once I'm done cooking, I'll be putting pad thai on here, and it's gonna look amazing. I'm gonna cut the edge out. We're gonna start by making a scrambled eggs. Let's see. We're going to crush the garlic and chop it up. So I crush my garlic. That should be good. And put it aside. And I'm gonna be frying the egg first. There's different ways to do this, but I'm doing this way so that I can garnish it later on. Some people would just scramble this up right away and then add meat and then pad thai noodles and then the sauce, but I'm doing it this way because I want to make an omelet, slice it up, and then make a garnish with this egg right here. Just wait until it's cooked, then we're going to put that aside. Yeah, that's good. Good to go. Okay. Now we're going into the sauce. Sugar. So we're just trying to caramelize the sugar for now. Just for the sake of color, I want it to be a little bit darker. Some people make the sauce ahead of time, but I'm just doing something with one pot strategy and just to make it simpler for you guys. So we're gonna keep that going until it's darkened a little bit. Okay, I think this is like a really good color because if you get it darker than this, it would taste a little bit bitter. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of tamarind. That way it becomes a sauce. And the sugar that has been hardened is now going to melt and blend in with this tamarind juice that I made. So once everything is melted, we're going to add salt. Now the pork goes in. Garlic goes in. Typically they would fry the garlic first with oil, then they would add meat, and then the pad thai noodles, and then the sauce, but I'm just giving you guys an easier way of doing it. I'm going to cover this for a few seconds and let the pork get cooked, then I'll add the noodles. So while that's going, I'm going to slice up the eggs that we made earlier. So it should look like this. So I think the pork is now cooked, and I like how saucy it is. So we're going to add a little bit more of the tamarind here. Make sure the paste doesn't get into it as much, because the weird thing about tamarind paste is that it has some seeds. Even though it says seedless, it has seeds and the outside shell in it, which can be difficult to digest. So let's taste it first and see what it's like. It's good. Add the rest of the tamarind. And then this, we'll just throw it out. So now we have the pad thai.